Now you came right in the middle of the pandemic. Bang on. What comes to mind? What's the highlight of COVID?
They are very good at technical skills. They can answer, they can solve any coding problem.
Mm.
But most of the students get rejected in the interviews. I was also the one. So
Yeah.
you have to blend in their culture
Mm.
and then you have to have the right skills. I decided this is not going to land me a sponsorship.
So how did you find your first sponsor then? Welcome to the International Students in UK podcast. This is the place where I want to give you all the information that I wished I had when I first came to the United Kingdom as an international student. I'm really excited about today's episode. I interviewed Karan Sachdeva, who's not necessarily himself an international student, but came as a dependent with his wife back in 2020, right in the middle of pandemic where God knows what, the world was ending, right? Not just he managed to secure sponsorship twice, but he's also helping international students like me and you to get sponsorships in UK. Let's get into it. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so glad you can make it today. I really appreciate you coming down all the way from.
No.
Where did you come from?
So I live in Hounslow, and but I have office in King Cross, so just 40 minutes from King Cross, so not that bad.
Very nice, very nice. Now, Karan, how does a young man from a small village in North India, okay, finds himself in UK? Like, how did you come here?
So my story starts in 2014 when I moved to Chandigarh from a very small town after my 3-year diploma. So this is called Polytechnic in India, back home. And from there till 2020, I ran multiple businesses, but failed totally.
Okay.
But my last business was making dumplings.
Right.
So I won't go all about all of my businesses, but my last business, which I started in 2019, was making dumplings.
Yeah.
And I had 5-6 stalls in Chandigarh and Mohali.
Okay.
And I learned how to make dumplings first. Then I taught my staff. So I had a startup staff of 15 people. But then the COVID hit and everything was closed.
Okay.
So I have to, shut everything down. Then I was like, okay, I've tried India from last 5-6 years running my business. So let's move to UK. Then I married my partner, who's currently my wife, and she always wanted to do masters in psychology.
Yeah.
Because she has bachelor's in psychology. So she decided to opt for business and occupational psychology. And I tag along with her and just, into this new country, no friends,
Yeah.
no family, didn't know anyone. Nobody came for, obviously cannot call anyone to pick us from airport.
Yeah.
So everything was new.
Wow. So you came here without any relatives?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like, were you guys not considering any other country apart from UK?
I think at that time, I think UK was the only country that was open. So definitely we were considering Australia. But UK was the only country that was open. And I thought, yeah, we can do something. We can definitely make
This is in 2020.
Yeah, this is in like exactly in the COVID era when there was second lockdown in November 2020.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So you came right in the middle of crisis.
Yeah, pandemic, right in the middle of
Oh,
pandemic.
what made you think that it's a good idea to come to UK?
I think I have always find my way to do something in my life, so I know that where I will go, I will make something.
So you're optimistic about, it doesn't matter if I go there.
Yeah.
As long as I'm there, I'll find something. I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very entrepreneurial type of mindset. But
I'm not sure about that, but like I knew that obviously everything was closed, so I may not be able to find a field job.
Yeah.
But I know because everything is closed and e-commerce is going boom, so I might find something in warehouse.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that I looked at when I came here in this country.
Very nice, very nice. I asked this question in every podcast. How much was your tuition fee, and how did you cover it? Was it family support? Did you have savings?
So we took, you can say, loan from family as well.
Okay.
But we had some support from family as well and some savings. But then we took a loan, but we gave that loan in just 5-6 months back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the tuition fees was around £16,000.
Okay.
And then obviously visas and all the expenses. So
Yeah.
£20,000.
And I'm not familiar with the dependent visa, but when you applied for it, you had to pay health surcharge for you.
Yeah,
and your wife.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dependent visa was rejected in my first. So I was like, oh,
Nice. What happened there? What explanation did they give?
they were saying that your marriage is not legal. And I was like, wow, we are in a relationship from last couple of years. And so we had to just give some more proofs just to tell them that it's legal because we recently got married in July. So
Yeah.
they were like, we don't think it's legal.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. You were dependent and you are on your wife visa. Now, was that a deliberate choice on on the couple's end, in the sense that why if you want to pursue something, you do that, and I have the option to be a dependent because it gives me more flexibility. Was that deliberate choice?
Actually, I wanted to study actually because I don't have my bachelor's.
Okay.
I don't have master's. I have
Yeah.
just diploma. It's just equal to 12th back home.
Yeah.
So I thought, why do I don't get a degree and side by side I can make something in the UK? But
Yeah.
graduation is more expensive over here.
Yeah.
And I don't think so in graduation you can bring your dependent at
Yeah.
that time.
Mm.
So the rules were like this.
But if you had come, it would have been a bachelor's program.
Yes, because I don't have any bachelor's.
Yeah.
So it is just 3 years diploma after 10th.
Yeah.
So obviously bachelor is more expensive and we cannot bring dependents on bachelor.
Yeah.
So everything was saying that my wife has
Okay,
to
you
get
cannot
master.
bring dependent on bachelor's.
No, at that time.
At
Now
that
it
time.
now in masters as well you cannot bring that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember something about that. Yeah, interesting.
That is changed from last year. Now you cannot bring your dependents on masters. So luckily we came in COVID, but
Mm.
that was allowed back then.
Now you came right in the middle of the pandemic. Bang on. What comes to mind? What's the highlight of COVID?
Highlight of COVID is working me in the warehouse, and I can never forget that because that was tough, and that made me that made me made some choices at that time which where I am today basically.
Okay.
So I made some hard choices back then. Worked less shift. I needed money, but I thought no, this is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life.
Mm.
So I have to focus on something bigger. So I decided to just have less shifts, more skill knowledge because I was just exploring which skill is demanding over here. So definitely I have the warehouse memory at 2020.
Yeah. So that warehouse was your first job, and
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, it's Amazon. That's where you got your job first.
Correct.
Yeah. So how easy was it?
It was really very easy because it was Christmas month.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of hirings and it was fairly easy. So we had 14 days quarantine when I came here.
Mm.
So on 15th day I was going to warehouse.
A quarantine used to cost a lot of money back then.
Luckily we didn't quarantine at the hotel. We booked the accommodation from India.
Okay.
So we directly came to our accommodation, quarantined in our home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pro tip for people who missed the chance. Anyway, uh, what were your thoughts on the pandemic itself? Were you thinking that it's end of the world, or is it just a stepping stone? What was your thought on that?
My thought was like, obviously, it's not the end of the world. And I was like, this is definitely going to be over. Not now, but it took a bit longer, I think.
Yeah.
And I was always like, this is not the end of the world. There is always something that is coming after this. It
Mm.
could be, I'm very optimistic about my life. And I'm always a person which have another plan in my mind.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't work out, we can do this. If this doesn't work out, we can do this. So
Yeah.
I always have couple of plans in my head regarding anything
Okay.
like.
So you weren't even scared, like not even a little.
I was scared. I think that should be wrong if I'm saying if I'm not scared. Definitely I was scared, but I was like, I will do something. I know that. You had that confidence when you came here in the UK, and I was like, I am on the right path. I'm upskilling myself. I'm not focusing on shifts, which I needed at that time because I needed to pay back the money, but
Yeah.
I focused on my learning. So I think at that time I realized that this is something is more priority learning, upskilling, because that's what I am today. I didn't
Yeah.
like if I did focused on money, then I don't think so. I'm sitting here. I should be sitting here.
Okay. So you prioritized. You know what? Let me just cover my expenses. A bit of profit on top, but let me pursue this opportunity because it has potentially more output, and it's in the right career type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you came, like you said in previously, you came here knowing no one here.
Yeah.
Most of the people I've interviewed or even spoken to have some form of relatives or extended family or something like that. How did you find your accommodation?
We booked online and then we just because I didn't know that there is a lot of fake accommodation post over here as well.
Yeah.
But luckily we find a good accommodation. We just stayed there for 4 months, but it was still like very good accommodation. But the experience that I'm just remembering is like, as you mentioned, we didn't have any friends or family. We waited on the airport, in that cold at 6 a.m. for 2 hours because we don't know how to book a cab.
Yeah.
and we didn't had the internet, so we are asking people and all those stuff. So
Yeah.
I still remember those hours, and that was the first flight. That was the first time in my life our luggage got exchanged.
Okay.
So I was like, we have to pay 50 pounds for the cab going back home. And then I was telling my wife, let's leave that luggage. It's okay. So we have so we have to come back to the airport to get our luggage. So it costed us 150 pounds at that time, and that was a lot of money at that time.
Yeah. How easy is it for people to find job in this country,
I
generally
think
speaking?
it depends which type of job. So if we talk about blue collar jobs, I think they are pretty much available.
I'm a layman. I don't know what blue collar means.
So if like you're working in hospitality or warehouse, so that is a blue collar job. But if you're working in corporate or any field related job, then it's a white collar job. So
Yeah.
blue collar jobs, I think it is not very difficult, but definitely white collar job need culture, need you have to blend in their culture, and then you have to have the right skills, and you have to be, luck is also there, but
Yeah.
I think right skills and cultural fit.
What stands out in culture?
So culturally, in culture, that obviously you bring international exposure. That is really good thing. But a lot of the time, what I am saying in last 1.5 year when I'm coaching people, this is like, uh, I won't say that they understand how to do a conversation in an interview. They are very good at technical skills. They can answer. They can solve any coding problem. But most of the students get rejected in the interviews. I was also the one. So
Yeah.
I was getting rejected in the beginning of the interview because I was like, I have learned this skill, I can nail this and blah blah stuff. But they are looking for a person who can be a conversationalist as well,
Yeah.
which we lack.
Yeah.
And I lacked that skill in the beginning.
Communication skills.
Exactly, communication skills.
Yeah.
And definitely how to have a small talk, how to start the conversation.
Yeah.
Weekend, how was your weekend on Mondays? And if you are on Friday, then you have what are your weekends plans? So I was like, what is weekend? Because back home we don't have a weekend.
Yeah.
So these are the skills that I lacked, even though after learning those, hard skills, technical skills as well.
Yeah.
So this is one of the biggest thing that I can see in my journey and others people's students' journey as well.
Wow. Wow. So now this question is just for the viewers, really. You've been here for 5 years now?
4 years and 3 months.
4 years and 3 months. You've been here 4 years and 3 months. Tell the viewers what it's like. What's it like living in UK? Is it a grand paradise or is it a place where you have to work hard?
It is definitely a place to work hard, but I would suggest it is a land full of opportunities. And if you are on a right path, if you are learning those skills and not focusing just on shifts, I think you will make a good future over here because work-life balance. Once you are working in a corporate, it's a very different like as compared to back home. I can say that I can never work back home until it's, if things are changing back home, then definitely. But corporate culture, as we know, is definitely different back home. So life is good in UK if you have got the right skills, and if you don't focus too much on earning money. I know that is important for a lot of people, but try to get some time out of your shifts, learn something which is going to give you a longer term benefit.
There you go now. Right. So your wife finished her master's now.
Yeah.
She graduated.
Yeah.
Did you apply for graduate visa or did you
No.
go straight into sponsorship?
We went straight into sponsorship because I knew that I don't want to pay 4,000 pounds at that time for both of us was PSW graduation visa.
Okay.
So I thought let's try to get sponsorship, and then obviously when I learned the skill, I worked in a company. Then, for example, for the first white collar job that I got was in a law firm, and that was one of the hardest job. But I decided this is not going to land me a sponsorship. So what do I need to land? So I thought, so basically,
So this is while your wife's studying.
so this is while my wife was working after study.
Okay.
So
No. So she got the sponsorship.
no, I got the sponsorship.
You got the sponsorship.
Yeah.
In what time frame?
So in 2002, I got my first sponsorship in 2022. My second sponsorship in 2024. Yeah.
Okay. So your wife graduated, and were you sponsored by the time she was graduate, or was it?
So she had her placement here.
She had okay. So it's like a 2 years program for her.
Yeah.
She's not just doing the masters.
Yeah.
So your visa is also by
2 years.
default 2 years.
Yeah. Correct.
So when she's doing placement, and I think in placement you can work full time.
Exactly correct.
Yeah. Okay. So in that time, you managed to secure your first sponsorship.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you had 2 years basically to hunt down for a sponsorship.
Yes.
First year to upskill yourself,
Yes.
understand the culture and everything,
Correct,
take all the
correct.
beating.
Yeah.
Second year, you
Correct.
know what, I understand now. Now it's time for me to figure out a way to get a sponsor.
Exactly.
Okay, so the white collar job, the law firm job,
Yeah.
you've once you realize that I cannot get a sponsorship, it's a good job maybe,
Yeah, it was a very good paying job, and it was paying me the average salary UK. I didn't expect it. I
Yeah.
thought I will get 25K job, and I was happy with that as well.
Yeah,
But it was paying me good money, but
nice.
that was not going to pay me. That was not going to give me sponsorship.
Yeah,
I realized that, but
yeah.
then I took a 10,000 pound pay cut,
Okay.
but went into a right place,
Uh-huh.
not for sponsorship, but
Yeah.
learning so that I
Yeah.
can learn a lot. But after, for example, my probation was for 3 months, but they completed my probation in 1 month
Oh,
because
nice. Yeah.
I was just, working after. I was not showing them I was working
Hmm.
because that's not their culture. But I was working after my office hours just
Mm.
to learn more things. What can I give them more?
Yeah.
So going above and beyond in my job.
They were happy with your progress.
Yes, yes, they completed my probation in just 1 month, and in
Oh,
third month
amazing. Yeah.
they started the visa process and all those stuff.
Yeah. That's inspirational. And like if people tend to think that, oh, if I'm not getting what I need, like which is sponsorship, why should I put effort into this?
Exactly.
Whereas it's the other way around. You know what? Just use the place to
Exactly.
build as much of a portfolio as you can,
Correct.
understand, get all the skills that you need, and
Correct.
use the network that's already built in to
Exactly.
reach the heights of that company at the very least.
Exactly.
You need information, even if you don't have the practical type of experience, and then you have like a bargaining chip.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
of
So
course,
you can
because
go to. So how did you find your first sponsor then?
so I joined an agency and took a 10,000 pay cut as I mentioned, but at that agency they had the sponsorship license.
Yeah.
They haven't sponsored many people, just one before me
Okay.
from South Africa, but so they had the sponsorship license, and after 1 month when they completed my provision, I was in a very good relationship with my manager at that time, and we are still in touch. We still go out after 4 years.
Wow, that's nice.
And yeah, he works in a different organization, I work in a different organization, but we still get in touch with each
Yeah.
other. And after 1 month I said, see, again, I don't want to work here long
Yeah.
term, and I'm eligible as well because that time the salary threshold was 26K only.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and I didn't have to negotiate about my salary.
Yeah.
So I said I'm eligible, and I like this organization. I like working under you. He said, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. I will talk to the HR and we'll get it sorted.
Nice.
So it was just like that. Obviously, after seeing my performance, because
Mhm.
I was taking more ownership. So there are
Yeah.
few things that you have to do when you're working in a agency.
Yeah.
You have to ask. You don't have to ask for money. You don't have to ask, give me appraisal. You have to ask, can I have the more ownership of accounts? When you are asking for more ownership, more accountability, they only know that what you are asking.
Yeah.
So it is very important when you work in a fast-paced environment, ask for more accountability, because we are hardworking people and we can do that hard work. It just we need one opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think I got in. That was the first opportunity, but I proved myself with my work. I was put in a very uncomfortable shoes where I have to perform in front of client in just 10 minutes without any context.
Yeah.
But I did that. I don't know how,
Yeah.
and that got me, that got me the respect, that got
Yeah.
me sponsorship as well.
Yeah. No, that's impressive because I don't know. I've done a lot of interviews, and every time I do an interview, I'm very uncertain. I'm like, oh, will I get it? Will I not get it? Will I get it?
Yeah.
Like because one way or the other, some hopes are attached to that interview. And like you said, like when they put you on the spot, it's exactly. Come on, man, give me some break.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
at that time it was hard as well, in just to get interviews as well, because
Mhm.
there was no one online I was looking at who can help me with the CV or anything. So I was like, where should I go? I write it. You will not imagine. I write letters to CEOs to give me
Okay.
interviews,
Okay.
hardcore letters.
Yeah.
As
On LinkedIn.
no,
Eh,
posted it to the address.
So that's what you need to do. Anytime you know someone, just write a letter and just go with the inboxes, just drop it down.
I didn't got all the responses, but I got 3, 4 interviews, and
Okay.
it doesn't converted me a job, but at least I got response, and I was like,
Yeah.
I did a lot of things which yeah.
No, we should have a separate podcast. Things that Karan did to get job in this, get sponsorship in this country. Which it's part of this anyway. So that was your first sponsorship.
Yes.
Why did you leave that and pursue a second one?
Why did I leave that? Because I was in an exec position
Okay.
and I thought that I am more of a senior position now.
Okay.
And in our organization, there was not any position that that could be created where I was working previously. So, but I not wanted to go with exec, senior exec, or lead. I wanted to go for manager position
Okay.
that will pay me good and that will also give me sponsorship. That's what I thought. And then I applied for manager level positions
Okay.
and I got a couple of interviews. And
So this is while you're working with a sponsor on
yeah,
your hand.
yeah,
So
like-
you realize actually I'm eligible for more.
yes.
So you started applying for companies.
I'm always keeping my eyes and ears open. Like
Okay.
even though I'm working here today,
Yeah.
I'm working in my organization, but I always have what's going on in the market. Even though I'm teaching people, coaching people,
Yeah.
but I should know about my market where I am because
Yeah.
until you get your ILR, you should always have a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I have contacts with 17 different agencies who have
Nice.
sponsorship license.
Right.
There are people working there. If I text them now, if
Yeah.
there is an opening, I will get the interview, I
Yeah.
will get the sponsorship. So I have made those connections by going to networking event, even after getting the job.
Yeah.
So you network always after you get a job.
Yeah.
Because before the job you are networking, you are asking for help.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. That's very interesting perspective because I would not think of it like that. For me, it's slightly different. It's slightly off topic maybe now, but I like the idea of being independent. And even though I'm sponsored myself right now, uh, I feel like because I'm sponsored, it gives me a lot of restriction. Like I cannot open a business on the side.
Yeah.
There's so many things I want to try. I cannot do that. Finding a second employer, part-time work. If you need money,
Yeah.
it's a pain because it has to be meet the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Has to be in the same thing.
But I think it's a good thing now. Now you can open a business, so which is good after rules change. So
Oh, so as a sponsor, I can open a business.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Legit.
Yeah, that
I'm
is
gonna
great.
do that now, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So you can now open your own business, and there are some restrictions, but now you can open your business. Show as the managing director of a company as well.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, we definitely need to speak about that in private.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And then definitely we'll make a video on that as well. There's a lot of content that's coming out of you, my friend. Okay, what tips do you have for international students from Asia, because we are from Asia, who are looking to find a sponsor?
See, you cannot get a sponsorship job.
Mm.
I'm gonna say again, you have to get a field job first in a sponsorship license company.
Okay.
So if you do not have the UK based experience,
Yeah.
if you are from a tech background such as a software developer having 10 years of experience, then you might get.
Okay.
But if you are someone who have a degree,
Mm.
who do not have Indian experience, who do not have UK field experience, then you should not aim for sponsor job.
Okay.
You should aim for a field job. For example, if you are a digital marketer, if you are a data analyst, aim for a field job in a sponsorship license. Even if you don't get in a sponsorship license, just aim for it. Get 6 months of experience.
Yeah.
Then try to look for a job because then you will have UK based experience. So my journey didn't started with sponsorship and now the rules has changed.
Yeah.
In entry level position, you will not get sponsorship.
Yeah.
So try to get into a field job, then convert that into sponsorship.
Yeah. I did that, by the way.
Yeah, I think that
I was lucky because I wasn't really after the sponsorship.
yeah, exactly.
With me, what happened is that I was content leaving United Kingdom because I came from Middle East. So my idea of life was, if I don't get to live here, I'm not going back Pakistan. Yeah. By the way, Pakistan is not as well off as India is right now. But I know this much is that if I have to go back, I'm happy in the sense that I'll just go Kuwait, where I came from. If not, I'll just go Qatar because Qatar right now for media is going up. Saudi Arabia and media is going up.
That's
So
yeah,
and-
Dubai is also
yeah,
like
Dubai is saturated now in that sense.
I think for
Yeah.
my job market, digital marketing,
Yeah.
they are paying really good money. If I'm getting few
Yeah.
not offers, but
Yeah,
recruiters reaching out to me.
yeah.
So again, they are paying really good money, no
Yeah.
taxes, and the cost of living is less as
Yeah.
well. So
I must, lifestyle in Gulf, like in the rich countries though, it's very nice.
Yeah.
I came here and I'm like, this is UK. In Pakistan, the perception is you guys are here, you must be rich, that you're enjoying the life, the yachts and everything. Yeah.
yeah,
But what happens, like you said, you have to be very strategic. You have
Right.
to work hard, and you have to constantly think of what's next. Like
Exactly. But-
just like you said, uh, until you get ILR or until
Exactly.
you get the passport,
exactly,
you
Yeah.
you don't want to risk it.
exactly.
Yeah, which is a really good advice, by the way. I'll take it on. I'll take it on. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah. I forgot what I was saying.
So I think you asked for the tips.
Yeah, so it's tips for students. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Field jobs. So
Yeah.
they can start from field jobs and then they can
then
Yeah.
look into
So
sponsor.
what's the best way for them to know that this company has the sponsorship license?
I think there's a list on the UK government website as well. If you type UK government sponsorship list, you will get it. Just check the name of the company, or I have built an extension as well. You can download that extension, which it is a sponsorship license checker extension on Google. I built that, so you will have that extension always on your computer. Just click on it, search the company.
Is it free for the people?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay, so we'll try to link in the description below. Yeah, right. So in your experience, which job markets in UK right now, from the work that you have done, are more willing to sponsor?
I think from my experience, one and easier to get as well.
Yeah.
I want, because there are other markets which are like health wise.
Yeah.
There are more sponsorship in health related, but I would say easier as well. So I think you can be in, if you are numerical and analytics good, then you can be into data side.
Yeah.
There are a lot of opportunities in data analyst was early careers.
Yeah.
So you can get into data analyst by doing a crash course 6 weeks or
Yeah.
12, just learning skill in 2 months if you are a numeric. But if you are not, then try to look into account executive, account manager types of the job, which can also be converted into sponsorship. There you do not need numerical skills, but you need good communication skills.
Right.
You need that blend, which you can blend in the, you can lead the calls.
Yeah.
You are not going to be technically person, but you still have to lead the calls, have to do the small talk. So that is all where you can go as well. And account manager comes under marketing, digital marketing. So I think data is the one thing that people can go easily if they can build their hard skills.
Yeah, I think digital marketing it started a while back. It's just like Bitcoin in that sense. And every time I see it, it's the markets keep market. Oh, my English is. Let me get some sip. That's okay. Now, so when I think of digital marketing, the market is just keep on expanding.
Yeah.
And information is so readily available. There's so many communities online. There's so many courses. They're so cheap now.
Yeah, I will also talk about that, because courses, digital marketing courses are good for your theoretical knowledge. But if you want to get into digital marketing, it's a very broad field. You cannot choose to be a digital marketer. You have to choose be an expert in one field.
Yeah.
Because you cannot enter an industry if you want to. I'm talking about if you want to if you're going to get a sponsored job.
Yeah.
You should enter an industry by become an expert, specialist.
Yeah. Specialist.
Not a generalist.
Yeah.
So specialist as SEO, paid media, digital PR, social, CRM, these are all specialists.
Yeah.
So you have to enter an industry as a specialist if you want to get a sponsored job. But if you enter as a digital marketing executive in a brand side, then your sponsorship, because you only have 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm taking the best case scenario, you get a job straight after your graduation.
Yeah.
Still not there. You won't get a sponsorship job as a digital marketing exec in a brand side.
Oh, wow. Okay. So has to be specialist. Correct. Wow. All right. So this is for the viewers, and of course we are both of us are slightly old for this.
Yeah.
The salary threshold was around 25,000.
26,000. Yeah.
Yeah. 26,000. That it was last year something. 2023 changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And they changed it to around 40,000. I think it was
38,000.
38, 39. Yeah.
And it can be more as well, depending on the role that you are trying to.
Yeah. Okay. So you can go above.
Yeah.
Correct. Let's just say it goes above 40,000.
Yeah.
And for some reason they reduced it back to around 30,000. Yeah. And so like, what's happening there? How does it affect the sponsorships, and what can students do to increase their odds?
I think, as I mentioned previously, you have to get inside, because right now, as students who are graduating, they come under new entrant.
Yeah.
So they know that they have to get 32K salary for a sponsored job, but none of the employers know about it.
Yeah.
They don't have that information.
Yeah.
They have this information because it's published on BBC and everywhere that you have to get 38K.
Yeah.
They don't know that graduates can get 32K, and then.
So it's only limited to graduates.
Exactly. It's only limited to graduates.
Okay.
So the only way that you can get sponsorship, you cannot get a 32K sponsorship job directly unless you are skilled, you have got good amount of UK based experience.
Yeah.
But if you do not have, just get into the industry, whatever the salary, 28K, 20. I took a 10,000 pound pay cut because I was desperate to get into the industry.
Nice. Yeah.
So you should not think about money too much when you're starting your career.
Yeah.
Just get into that industry and then make your way, go above and beyond. There are so many things like I did a lot of things when I have to go when I was applying for a job, when I was in my job, I'm currently in my job.
Yeah.
I will lead the calls. I will go above and beyond in my
Yeah.
current role as well,
Yeah.
so that they can see me my
Isn't it a lot of work, man? Like then you have a family to look after as well.
no, I just work right now in my office hours to go above and beyond because right
Okay.
now I'm at manager, so I
Mm.
don't do regular BAU.
Yeah. That.
So
Okay.
so that gives me time to think much more of a strategy point of view.
Yeah. Yeah. So like so basically I found you through Instagram. I was I started making content recently and I wish I made started like making YouTube about international students when I came here. It would because
Yeah, I think you then you might have a COVID boom as well.
COVID boom. No, maybe most definitely. I think is because I'm really anti-social online. That's one of the reasons I started actually, it's a flaw because 10 years down the line, kids gonna be online, wives is online. Why am I not online? So I started that, and my journey is kind of just an experiment. I'm not really aiming for gaining that much out of. I don't really have a plan. It's just an experiment to see where it takes me. And so far, what it has brought me is like, oh, I didn't need to suffer as much as I did because the content wasn't available back then. But no, I don't know how to search for right content. That's one. And number two, if I started making content, I would understand the subject more myself, which is far more valuable than sharing it with other people. Sharing is a bonus. Like this is just for you. You take it, yeah. Don't need any money. Don't need anything. It's just a bonus. It's just that every post I make upskills me in presenting, in scripting, writing, understanding social media. But at the same time, it gives me an opportunity to network with people. Oh, hi, how are you doing today? And then they look at your work, they see, oh, this guy is trying something.
Yeah.
And if they're good people like you in that sense, oh, let's give him a shot. Like what am I gonna lose? 1 or 2 hours?
No, I
Yeah.
think it's an experience for myself as well, and it's a good experience to meet new people, and that's why I've started mentoring and coaching as well. I get to meet a lot of good people, and they are working very hard, students. And when they get the job, when they get the rejection, I do feel bad when they get the rejection.
That was the next question. That was the next question. Have you ever had an application rejected?
Oh, yeah, tons of times, like daily. Like we got good interviews, final interviews today. We are waiting for the results, rejections every day. So it's going very fast, and
Embrace the rejection, huh?
yeah, definitely rejection is a redirection. That's what I believe.
Rejection is redirection. How can people find you if they need your help? Because you help people well, with sponsorships.
Yeah, I won't say I help people with sponsorship.
Mm.
That would be misguiding. I
Yeah.
help people to get them into their field job.
Okay.
So because again,
Yeah.
threshold has been changed.
Yeah.
So I do not promise for sponsorship.
Yeah.
And I help people get into the field job.
Okay.
So they can find me on Instagram, and my profile is Karan in London. And recently I have partnered with my mentor because you cannot
Yeah.
do things alone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had a mentor when I joined Media Vision,
Okay.
and he mentored me for the next, still mentoring me, to be
Mm.
honest, because
Mm.
you have to get a mentor in different fields.
Exactly.
So I have a mentor in finance. He's
Yeah.
my career mentor.
Yeah.
So I have managed to get him on board with me to help
Yeah.
more people.
Yeah.
And he's currently working. He has made his future from exec to director in
Wow. Yeah.
just 3 years.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
so I'm lucky that he's now helping me
Yeah.
to help more students and
Yeah.
definitely more good results.
Now it's definitely a welcome thing, especially from my end, because like I said, I wish I had access to all of this. I was like, whew, what is this question? And how can you help them? Oh, yeah, you kind of already answered that, didn't you?
And answer that, like,
Yeah.
how can I help them? There are a couple of things.
Mm.
So basically, I help them in 3 ways. One is if anybody wants to learn SEO, because
SEO.
I'm an SEO expert. My partner is a director. So definitely we know the inside out of the industry. How does the industry work?
Mm.
We have already helped a couple of people, and already they are working in different. That's how I built a network of 17 agencies.
Nice.
Because my students are working in different agencies,
Yeah.
telling me how does it work, how they negotiate with sponsorship and all those stuff.
Yeah.
Then I have a career coaching where I help people within data, within
Yeah.
finance, within IT and digital industry. I do not take students from health
Mm.
because I do not have that experience.
Yeah.
So that is the second thing
Yeah.
that is the second service that I do provide.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Wow. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming to this podcast.
Thank you.
I learned a lot today. I don't know about you.
Same here. Same
Yeah,
here. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Like I said, like I wish I had all this information before, and I hope you guys found it useful to some extent. Uh, please share it with someone who could use this. Maybe someone who's thinking of coming to UK, or not UK, not necessarily. You don't have to come to UK. The concept that Karan explained today applies to anyone going any international country. Well, right now, let's just stick to Western countries. Yeah, don't know about Europeans, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you for having
I'll
me.
see you in the next episode. Now, if that wasn't a good discussion, I don't know what's a good discussion. If you like this episode, check Hibba's on out. She came to UK, she got employed straight away, and not just that, she got sponsored by the same company. Listen to the podcast.